I wanna be careful with this particular promise. Not every word deserves the weight of forevermore. And I've learned to only promise what I can mean completely, what I've examined and found solid at the core. Cherish is a word worth dwelling in, not the casual affection or the surface care. The particular attention of someone who knows the value, who holds what's given with the reverence it's rare. Not cherish like possessing or like owning, cherish like the careful holding of what's real. The particular tending of something genuinely precious, the daily returning to what the cherishing reveals. Not the promise of the feeling in a favorable hour, the promise made from the examined and the clear, from the years of knowing what you're promising and finding it's still worth the promising from here. I promise to cherish you forevermore, and every word of that is chosen with its weight. Not the declaration of a single breathless moment, the commitment of someone who knows what they're making great. I promise to cherish you forevermore, in the ordinary, in the difficult and the long, in the daily returning to the value of what you are, in the particular tending that keeps the cherishing strong. Not the feeling, the commitment. I promise to cherish you forevermore, and I make that promise knowing what it asks and choosing it anyway. Forevermore is a serious word, I take it seriously. Not the forever of the early hours enthusiasm, the forever that has looked at what it's promising, that knows the full dimension of the chasm. The difficult chapters, the ones that test the cherishing, the seasons that ask more than feels available, the moments where the promise needs the choosing, where the forevermore becomes the actual. And in those moments, which will come, I know, the promise will be what I return to. Not the feeling, the commitment made from knowing, the particular promise I am making to you. Not the promise of the feeling in a favorable hour, the promise made from the examined and the clear, from the years of knowing what you're promising and finding it's still worth the promising from here. I promise to cherish you forevermore, and every word of that is chosen with its weight. Not the declaration of a single breathless moment, the commitment of someone who knows what they're making great. I promise to cherish you forevermore, in the ordinary, in the difficult and the long, in the daily returning to the value of what you are, in the particular tending that keeps the cherishing strong. Not the feeling, the commitment. I promise to cherish you forevermore, and I make that promise knowing what it asks and choosing it anyway. The most solemn promises aren't the ones made in the best moments. They're the ones made in the full knowledge of what's being promised, that name the difficult alongside the beautiful, that don't skip the cost in the reaching for the word, and this one, forevermore. I'm making full knowledge of what it asks, of what it gives, of what it means to mean it, and I mean it. I promise to cherish you forevermore, and every word of that is chosen with its weight. Not the declaration of a single breathless moment, the commitment of someone who knows what they're making great. I promise to cherish you forevermore, in the ordinary, the commitment. I promise to cherish you forevermore, and I'll make that promise knowing what it asks and choosing it anyway. Not from the feeling, from the knowing, made in full knowledge of what it asks and chosen anyway. That's the promise that's forevermore. I wanna be careful with the word adore. It carries more than the casual version tends to mean. Not the comfortable affection of the long familiar, the particular reverence of what is genuinely seen. Adoration at its truest isn't the performance, the elevated feeling that arrives and then retreats. It's the consistent recognition of something worth the honoring, the returning to the reverence that the genuine repeats. And what I feel for you has that, the returning, not the single moment of the breathtaking and bright, the consistent coming back to what you are and finding it worth the adoration every night. Not honor like a duty or an obligation, honor like the privilege of the genuinely recognized, like standing before something worthy of the reverence and finding yourself grateful to be the one who's prized. To adore you is my highest honor, and highest here means what the evidence supports, not the claim of the feeling in a favorable hour, the observation of what the long accounting courts. To adore you is my highest honor, not because adoring elevates the one who adores, because what you are is genuinely worth the reverence, worth every returning to what the adoring restores. Not performance, not feeling alone. To adore you is my highest honor, and I receive that honor with the gratitude it deserves. Honor has a particular quality, the genuine kind. It doesn't need the audience or the recognition. It lives in the private, in the unremarkable, returning in the quiet, daily, consistent repetition. And that's the adoration I mean, the private kind, not the declared in the public or the grand, the particular reverence that lives in the ordinary. In everything I do with this particular hand, the mornings where the adoration is the first arriving, before the day is asked for anything at all, the particular honor of knowing what I'm beside, the particular privilege of answering that call. Not honor like a duty or an obligation, honor like the privilege of the genuinely recognized, like standing before something worthy of the reverence and finding yourself grateful to be the one who's prized. To adore you is my highest honor, and highest here means what the evidence supports, not the claim of the feeling in a favorable hour, the observation of what the long accounting courts. To adore you is my highest honor, not because adoring elevates the one who adores, because what you are is genuinely worth the reverence, worth every returning to what the adoring restores. Not performance, not feeling alone. To adore you is my highest honor, and I receive that honor with the gratitude it deserves. The highest honors aren't the ones conferred, they're the ones discovered, the ones you didn't seek but found yourself inside. for something that made you understand what honor actually means. And that's where I stand before you, understanding for the first time fully what it means to be honored by what you're given to love. To adore you is my highest honor, and highest here means what the evidence supports, not the claim of a feeling in a favorable hour, the observation of what the long accounting courts. To adore you is my highest honor, not because adoring elevates the one who adores, because what you are is genuinely worth the reverence, worth every returning to what the adoring restores, not performance, not feeling alone. To adore you is my highest honor, and I receive that honor with the gratitude it deserves, not conferred, not sought, discovered in standing before you and understanding what honor actually means. The mind is rarely still, that's the honest start. It moves through what is past and what might come, the particular restlessness of what keeps thinking, the particular noise that never fully goes numb. And I've made peace with that, the moving mind, not try to stop it, try to work with what it is, to find the spaces where it settles for a moment, the particular quiet in the middle of the fizz. And what I've found consistently, specifically, is that your gaze does something nothing else quite does. Not silences the mind, receives it, which turns out to be more quieting, because not peace like the mind stops entirely, peace like the mind stops needing to defend the particular stillness of being looked at without judgment, of arriving at a gaze that doesn't ask it to pretend. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, and absolute is the word I want to keep, not the partial piece of the temporarily distracted, the complete, the actual, the genuinely deep. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, in how it receives what the mind brings without the asking, in the particular stillness of being seen completely, in the peace that comes from finally not masking, not silence, not stopped. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, received completely, and that receiving is everything. There's a particular thing the mind does when it's received, when what it carries meets a gaze that doesn't flinch. It doesn't need to keep on moving through the managing. It finds its level and the moving starts to inch, not stop. Fine level, that's the distinction. The mind doesn't disappear, it settles into what is real, the particular piece of being looked at without agenda that changes what the mind is running from to feel. And yours does that, the receiving without agenda, the particular gaze that holds what arrives and simply stays. And the mind that was restless in the looking for its peace finds it absolutely in your particular gaze. Not peace like the mind stops entirely, peace like the mind stops needing to defend the particular stillness judgment, of arriving at a gaze that doesn't ask it to pretend. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, and absolute is the word I want to keep. Not the partial piece of the temporarily distracted, the complete, the actual, the genuinely deep. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, and how it receives what the mind brings without the asking, in the particular stillness of being seen completely, in the peace that comes from finally not masking, not silence, not stop. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, received completely, and that receiving is everything. The mind finds peace, not in the stopping, but in the being received, in the particular stillness of a gaze that says, whatever you bring, it's enough, you're enough, come as you are. And the mind which had been moving in search of that stops moving, not because it's told to, because it finally arrived. Oh, my mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, and absolute is the word I want to keep. Not the partial piece of the temporarily distracted, the complete, the actual, the genuinely deep. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, and how it perceives what the mind brings without the asking, in the particular stillness of being seen completely, in the peace that comes from finally not masking, not silenced, not stopped. My mind finds absolute peace in your gaze, received completely, and that receiving is everything. The not stopped, not silenced, received, and in the receiving